What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another podcast here with the Lean Athlete Lifestyle Show, and I'm your host, Jared Swidey, back with you another one. It is Thursday. We are on day 18 of a podcast every single day for 100 days, posting this to YouTube as well, so you can check that out on the YouTube page with just my first and last name. So let's cut right into it. Essentially, what we want to talk about today is mobility. So, basically, Lean Athlete Lifestyle Show, Coach Jared here, we're going to be diving into a deep topic that's essential for effective workouts and successful weight loss journeys. And it's optimizing joint health and mobility. Now, I do mobility videos every single day. I'm going to be doing that for the next 100 days here, so you can check those out. And if you find any are helpful for you, fantastic. How we're going to be running through that series is once we kind of go from head to toe, meaning we're starting with your neck stretches, sometimes your jaw stretches and mobility, working all the way down to your ankles from day one all the way down. And then we're going to find sequences. If you experience this, these might be some good stretches and mobility exercises you can do daily to help benefit you in the long term. So grab your workout mat and let's get started, everybody. So first off, why is joint mobility so crucial? Well, it's the foundation of basically all your movement, whether you're lifting weights, going for a run, or even doing everyday activities, emptying the trash, picking up your kids, picking up your dog, whatever it might be. Your joints plays a super key and crucial role in that. So let's talk about how to keep them in tip-top shape for you. So to optimize joint health and mobility, we need to have a combination of exercises and stretches and strategies. We're actually going to be talking about a few studies later on that are going to be super beneficial for yourself. And they took lots of different test subjects and brought them from an area of stiffness to an area of reduced injury, which is really what we're talking about here. Plus, stiffness is really not going to be a fun thing that you're going to be experiencing for a long time. All right. So, anyways, it doesn't have to be too complicated either. Here are some key points that we want to discuss. So number one is going to be strength training. Studies have shown that resistance training not only builds muscle, but also strengthens the tendons and ligaments at your joints and even around your joints surrounding it. This can reduce the basically the risk of injuries and enhance joint stability. So incorporate strength training into your routine when you can. This will also help with fat loss, which we coach in our Lean Athlete Blueprint program. So it does have twofold benefits: strengthen your ligaments, strengthen your joints, and also help you with your weight loss journey. And it also helps the aesthetic parts a lot. All right, dynamic warm-ups. Okay, so this is going to be more like a proper warm-up essentially to do this, and dynamic warm-up's part of it. So you can do some mobility drills with this before workout, can increase your blood flow to the joints and increase fluid manipulation and transfer to those joints, making it more flexible and ready for action when you go into the workout. Flexibility work is great as well. So static stretches, the difference between dynamic and static is static, you hold the stretch for a long time. So if you do like an overhead stretch, pull that elbow behind you, that is going to be more of a static stretch. We hold it for about at least 20 seconds, at least. Nothing less than that, because it's going to be turning off that stretching mechanism, which is so important. Focus on areas that are prone to stiffness, especially the hips. If you're standing lots, if you're moving around lots, or sitting and then standing, your hips are going to be definitely affected, and your shoulders, right? Those joints, they move a lot. They're one of the most fluid, maneuverable joints that you have. Spine as well, I'd say, but definitely the shoulders, because that gets used a lot and it can move in so many different variations, so many different things plugged into the shoulder. So we definitely have some stretches that we're going to be outlining in our videos in the next few days of the shoulder joints. Nutrition matters too. So believe it or not, your diet plays a huge role into your joint health. So omega-3 fatty acids found in fish, flax seeds, and anti-inflammatory properties can benefit your joints. There's a national powerlifter that I work out with sometimes, Ali, and what he talks about a lot of the time is having raw eggs as well. So you don't have to drink it Rocky style, but you can put it into your smoothies. Egg whites, something that I put in my smoothies quite frequently, and it can also help your joints, according to him. Stay hydrated. Water is lubricant for your joints. So staying hydrated. The way to measure hydration levels or even being dehydrated is going to the washroom, seeing what color the urine is. It's kind of a wonky test, but everyone can do it because everyone has to go, right? Dehydration can lead to joint discomfort, so drink up. Last point I'm going to make here before we go into our studies is going to be proper form. Now, I'm always working on my form when it comes to movement and exercises. I have an ankle injury. I rolled my ankle a few years ago. And it still gives me issues when I squat sometimes. So I'm always looking for different ways to manipulate and keep mobile when it comes to the squat and trying to increase my weight. I want to really make sure my form is down because there's lots of potential injuries. Other areas could overcompensate if your form isn't strong enough. And if you feel that it's not going to be strong enough, then lower the weight and then slowly build your way up to it. So when working out, pay close attention to your form. We could talk more about this in another discussion, another podcast, but if you do have any questions, you can always reach out to me on Instagram or on Facebook as well. We're going to be doing lots of YouTube videos on mobility as well, so check that out. Poor form can put unnecessary stress on your joints, so keep that in mind. If you're not sure, seek guidance from a fitness professional, physiotherapist, chiropractor, that suits you best. So hopefully those 6 points helped. We're going to be talking about some studies next. So speaking of studies, let's back up our claims with a couple references of what we talk about. A study published from the Journal of Orthopedic and Sports Physical Therapy found that strength training can reduce joint pain and improve function in people with osteoarthritis. We're going to go into the study a little bit in a second here. There's also another study we're going to go into here. So the first one, as we kind of talked about, it has to do with people who have osteoarthritis. This is something that you do not have, then feel free to skip this altogether. But what they did is, I don't know how many people they actually had into this whole study. I tried to find that number. I am going to link these references here, so if you do find it, then let me know. I did kind of just scan through it. But it talks about pain. Pain, and the participants gave a rating of their pain. But I don't see how many people were actually in this study. But regardless, I'm just going to go down to the conclusion and you can kind of make your own evaluation. So I'll read through that and also link the studies. You can check it out yourself. But I love studies. This is great. Okay. So conclusion on this, recommendations for implementation of exercise therapy are hard to dispute in light of strong supporting evidence, reduced potential harms compared with other common osteoarthritis treatments, such as agnesia and surgery, and its beneficial effects on overall health. With the growing international burden of osteoarthritis, embracing exercise therapy and promoting physical activity as a first-line treatments offered to people with hip and knee osteoarthritis are essential. This clinical commentary provides a clear call to action for exercise therapy in hip and knee osteoarthritis, along with key exercise therapy recommendations based on current evidence and help reduce for future burden costs. Did I say that right? Anaglesia. All right, so the second one I'm going to talk about here was from the Journal of Aging Research, highlights the benefits of dynamic stretching in improving joint flexibility and reducing the risk of injury during exercise. So in this study, they actually took, I think it was a 2018 study from PubMed and BCI, but they took 12 participants each, so 6 men, 6 women, and then I believe from one group, they had people who were on medication for pain in a separate group. But again, I'm going to link this as well. So the conclusion of this is when they investigated the acute sustained effects of dynamic stretching, that's where you move around the joints instead of holding it, like a static stretch, on flexibility parameters in healthy volunteers who perform 10 sets of dynamic stretching, so 15 repetitions per set of the hamstring muscles. They focus a lot on the hamstring muscles here, but those can get increasingly tight, especially as we sit more in our daily lives. We found that dynamic stretching caused a sustained reduction in passive stiffness of the hamstrings and increased the knee range of motion, as well as less lasting increase in PT. So it's like, I think physical torque is what it stands for, at the onset of pain. As increased passive stiffness of the hamstring and decreased knee range of motion are both risk factors for hamstring injuries during sports. That's from Goldman and Jones study 2011. Their results suggest that dynamic stretching of the hamstrings before exercise may help prevent injuries. So doing dynamic stretching, swinging up the legs and joints, shoulders, everything like that is going to help prevent injury as you go into more of a strength exercise, and also help increase the range of motion. The more range of motion you can increase, the more muscle you're going to be putting on, increasing that as well. Okay, so now that we covered the essentials, remember that consistency is always key. Make joint health and mobility a part of your daily routine and see the benefits and see the results on your workouts and also on your weight loss journey if you're on that. Before we wrap things up, don't forget to check out our Fit After 30 Facebook group. We do live weekly trainings in there discussing any topics that you have interest in. And also there's a 3-week nutrition course in there as well. So lots of valuable insights in there with those masterclasses and guides and courses. And if you found this podcast helpful, please hit that like button, subscribe to this channel as well for more fitness tips and motivation. Mobility and cooking is going to be a big one for meal prep. But again, thanks for tuning in to this episode. Until next time, keep those joints mobile, stay active, and crush those fitness goals. All right, this is Coach Jared signing off. And any questions on anything like this, let me know. Chat later.